But I am going to give you 3 bold predictions that I have for the Chicago Cubs in 2025. The first one is, if there is an over-under on Justin Steele wins, and let's say it's 15.5, I'm going over that mark. Justin Steele, this is a guy who continues to pitch. He's been one of the most consistent pitchers the Chicago Cubs have had over the last several years. Granted, last year got off to a bad start when he hurt his hamstring in the first start of the season that sent him back, but he came back, pitched really well. He just didn't have the wins to show for it. Picked up a ton of no decisions. That happens from time to time. But this is a guy who wants to get extended for the Chicago Cubs. He wants that one big bite at that contract extension apple that's probably the only one that he's going to get, given his age. I think Justin Steele has a huge season. I think he's an all-star. And I think when you look up and you say, hey, Justin Steele is pitching today, I think the Chicago Cubs have a great chance of winning on that day. I got him over the 15.5 mark on wins. Book it right now. I'm thinking 16 to 17 wins for Justin Steele. My second bold prediction for the Chicago Cubs is they have not had a player hit over 30 home runs for them in quite some time. I think that player this year is going to be Kyle Tucker. That's right. The prize of the offseason, the huge trade, the blockbuster deal for Kyle Tucker to come over to play right field for the Chicago Cubs. I think he's aligned to have a huge season. If we're saying 30.5 home runs, I think he flies over that mark. I'm actually going to go and be so bold and say I think he hits 37 home runs for the Chicago Cubs this year. He is an all-star. He plays gold glove caliber defense. And this is the big marker for the Chicago Cubs this year because Kyle Tucker, mild-mannered Kyle Tucker, mentally tough, leader, not high maintenance at all. If there is ever a time to spend big on a player to lock up a guy, Kyle Tucker just might be that guy. And if he puts together that kind of huge season for the Chicago Cubs, we are about to find out exactly what the threshold is, pain-wise, for Tom Ricketts to pay up and pay a guy like Kyle Tucker. I think he's going to age well. I think he's in the prime of his career. He's a left-handed, power-hitting bat and a dude that probably will be an all-star for you. And I'm telling you, if he hits 37 home runs, you best believe the Chicago Cubs better be in on extending Kyle Tucker. And guess what? That number on that extension, that's going to have a 4 in front of it. My final bold prediction for the Chicago Cubs, I've been thinking about this a lot. I don't think this is because I think this player is going to be ineffective. I think it's because there's another player coming to supplant him, and he might be the future at the position. I am going to say that the Chicago Cubs, by season's end, their closer, his name is going to be Porter Hodge. And that could be not because Ryan Presley is pitching poorly, just because Porter Hodge is pitching so well.